So my name's Anita Lee, and I'm with RBD of Canada. Thank you all for joining us today. So launched in 2012, Charter High is an educational platform that's helping students explore life after high school in a fun and engaging way. And in 2017, they were named the Education Technology of the Year in Canada. Over the past several years, RBD of Canada has partnered with Charter High through the daily quiz as well as the RV and automotive module course to help students explore career opportunities in the RV sector while gaining a deeper understanding of the RV industry. In today's webinar, we'll be highlighting the importance of early engagement and ways to interact with students to help with career exploration. Please join me in welcoming Zoe Robichaud. She's the School Support Coordinator with Charter High. Zoe?
Wonderful. Thank you for the introduction. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Zoe, and I'm the School Support Coordinator with Charter High. I'm very pleased to be here today to talk to you guys about Charter High, but also the importance of career exploration. And before I get started, I do want to give the floor to my colleague who's here, so I'll give her the chance to introduce herself. So, Mary.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I'm Mary. I'm the bilingual content writer and editor. So just this past summer, we went over all of RVDA's content. Anita and I worked very closely, so everything's up to date and ready for the students to explore. So back to you, Zoe.
Perfect. Wonderful. All right, so I'll share my screen and we'll get started. But for your information on today's session, so let me just share. Okay, full screen. There we go. So for today's session, we're going to talk about Charter High. So we will do a live demo of the Charter High website, but I also want to give you some tools on how to empower students through career exploration. I'm a teacher. My profession is a teacher. So I hear some feedback. Just mute. Okay. Sorry. So yes, I'm very excited to talk to you guys about how to help students through career exploration. So like I said, during this session, we're going to introduce Charter High, but also highlight its mission to inspire career exploration and education and equip you guys with knowledge about tools, strategies, and opportunities for fostering career adaptability and early engagement in students. So here are all the things we're going to cover during this session. But first things first, I want to talk about the early stages of career education. So why should career education begin as early as middle school? To better paint a picture of this, I want to talk about my career path. So I will tell you what I tell students when I do in-person class presentations or virtual class presentations. So I talk about my career path, and it helps the students kind of grasp the importance of being able to do career exploration. So when I do class presentations, I start by asking students to write on a piece of paper what they want to do in the future. Then we do an activity with that piece of paper, but I tell students after the activity that when I was their age, I remember doing the same thing. So when I was in school, I received a piece of paper and I had to write down what I wanted to do when I grew up. I was one of those students who knew exactly what they wanted to do. I received my piece of paper, and as soon as I got it, I didn't have to think twice about it. I wrote down that I wanted to be a teacher. And that's as far as I can think of when I think of middle school or even elementary school. I remember telling everyone around me that I was going to be a teacher. That was sure in my mind. And I was so convinced that that's what I wanted to do that when we would do career exploration, I would only explore that career because I was certain that's what I wanted to do. So I never felt the need, or I was never even required to look at any other jobs. And my parents and teachers and the adults in my life would tell me, there's always going to be a job in the teaching profession. You'll always have work. So that helped me kind of stay in my comfort zone, and it made me realize, well, if the adults around me are telling me that I don't need to explore anything else because there'll always be work in the teaching profession, why would I? You know? So I stayed in my comfort zone and only explored this one thing. I went on to university and I went into education. Good news is I absolutely loved my degree in education. To this day, I'm still very passionate about education. But the bad news is I finished my degree, my bachelor's degree. I received my certificate, you know, the piece of paper that says you are a teacher. You can now teach right in the middle of the pandemic. So I became a new teacher during COVID. So when I was in middle school and I dreamt of being a teacher, I never imagined teaching with a mask on or not being able to go to my students' desk because I had to keep a certain distance or even teaching online. Those were not things that I had envisioned for myself. So I remember when I started teaching, we were teaching online at that point, and it wasn't what I had dreamt of. You know, I was alone all day in my house teaching to an empty screens because I was teaching high school students at that point and they wouldn't open their cameras, which I don't blame them. I've done online classes. I know how it can be. But I wouldn't see anyone the whole day. I felt like I was teaching to an empty screen. And also, I didn't have any colleagues around me that I could, you know, go knock on their doors and ask for tips and tricks about being a new teacher. So I felt really isolated. I felt very lonely. So it was very difficult for me because the dream career that I had didn't turn out to be what I expected because of the pandemic. So I remember at that point, I thought to myself, well, I have two options. The first one is to stay in this career, but if you guys go back and think about the pandemic, we didn't know how long it would last. We didn't know how long we would have to teach online. It was a very, it was kind of a blur at that point. So I thought I either stay here and teach online for I don't know how long, and I'm unhappy, or maybe I could take this time to try something new, try a new career, and when the pandemic is over, I can go back to teaching. Okay, I thought to myself, that sounds like a good plan. Okay, let's do that. But what is that new career that I'm going to try out? What is something else other than teaching that I'm interested in? I have no idea. I have no clue what I'm interested in or what I'm even good at because I've never even thought of doing something else other than teaching. So at that point, I was an adult, I was very confused, and I didn't know what my next steps would be. So at that point, I remember I didn't have any strategy, so I just went on a website where there was some job postings, and I applied for a bunch of things. I applied in different fields for a lot of different jobs, and I ended up having a call from the CEO of Chatter High asking if I wanted to come in for an interview. At that point, I didn't really know what Chatter High was, so I did do some research, and I found out that it was a tech ed company that specialized in career exploration. I thought, well, that sounds pretty interesting, and it's still something in education, so I'll go into interview and we'll see. As you can guess, I went to the interview and they offered me the job as school support coordinator. So I accepted and I started working at Chatter High. When I first started at Chatter High, I thought it was very difficult. Not the job per se, but the fact that I had always told everyone around me and I had always told myself that I was going to be a teacher. And now here I am working in the tech world. It's not what I had envisioned at all. And I kind of felt like an imposter. I felt like I wasn't allowed to do another job. And I felt like I wasn't allowed to love that new job. So I had to work through those feelings, learning about a new position while dealing with all of those things. And as time went on, I really fell in love with my job at Chatter High. I really truly love what I do. I get to speak with students all around Canada and help them explore careers. And it's very, very, interesting to me and it makes me feel good. So when I talk to students, I tell them, Why am I telling you all of this story? Because you might be one of those students who doesn't know what they want to do, but I want to encourage you because I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but life threw things in my way and I still ended up doing something different. And I wish that when I was a student that I had the opportunity to explore different careers, to find out more about what's out there. Because now, taking a step back, I realized that I only explored the careers that I knew of. You know, I knew teachers around me. I knew what that job was. And I never went outside of my comfort zone. So I wish I had tools to explore all the careers that are out there. Also, that is also kind of a message to you because it's very important for employers to participate in career fairs or in-school presentations to offer experiential opportunities to experience skilled trades for students. I always tell students, how can you know you're interested in something if you don't even know that job exists? When I think back about when I was in school, and certainly it might be different now, but when I was in school, I remember we learned more about careers like teaching, nursing, lawyers, you know, and I never really learned about skilled trades. And I wish I had, because who knows, maybe I would have found a passion in a skilled trade. So it's really important for students to be aware that all of these things exist. So why is adaptability in career develop so important in career development? So I talked about my career path, but also you guys know that the job market is evolving faster than ever due to advancements in technology, shifts in industries, and changing societal needs. For skilled trade professionals, adaptability is no longer just an asset, it's a necessity. And that's good for students to know. So encouraging students to consider the skilled trades also means highlighting this dynamic nature. Adaptability in trades isn't just about reacting to changes, it's about staying ahead of them, learning to integrate sustainable practices, adopting innovative technologies like robotics or AI, and embracing continuous professional development. By framing the trades as an adaptable and future-forward career path, we make it more appealing to the next generation. Okay, so these are things that students have to keep in mind. So we have to tell them about adaptability and they have to learn how to learn. Now, let me go forward. I also want to mention briefly some tips on how you can discuss with parents and students about misconceptions about working in the skilled trades sector. And I came up with 3 myths that I sometimes hear when I do class presentations about skilled trades. So I'm very curious if you want to write some in the chat too. Maybe they're going to be similar as the ones I came up with. But what are myths that you guys hear about skilled trades? And I'd be very interested to know what you hear often. But first myth that I hear a lot when I go into schools is that skilled trades are second choice careers. So, you know, often still to this day, yes, trades are for the dumb kids. That's what I hear a lot. To this day, there's still this image that the goal is to go to university. Then if that doesn't work, to go to college. And if that doesn't work, go right on the job market. There's still this hierarchy of what jobs are better, okay? So skilled trades are second choice careers. We need to break that stigma and tell students that not only tradespeople are in high demand, but they often enjoy job security, competitive salaries, and opportunities to be their own bosses. And I tell students, you know, do some research. A certain course that you can do in university, what is the salary when you do that job after, and a that you can learn in college, are the salaries similar? And often the salaries can be higher. So there's not a better option. They're just different. So highlight that these careers require intelligence, skills, and continuous learning. comparable to any other respected profession. So again, we need to break this idea that skilled trades are second choice careers. Another myth that I hear are often is that there is no room for growth in the trades. That's something that I hear when I go into classrooms. And to break this myth or help students realize that it's not necessarily true, it's important to share stories about tradespeople who have advanced to roles such as business owners, consultants, or industry leaders. You can point out that trades offer paths for specialization and entrepreneurship. So it's very cool for students because sometimes they're very focused on, if I want to go to school for this career, that's all I can do. But then you can go on and do something bigger if that's something you're interested in, such as owning your own business, for example. So when students hear real stories of real people, it can help them make it seem more real. Okay. So that's definitely something that students can learn about. And on Chatter High, they'll also have access to these type of stories. Finally, the third myth that I hear a lot is trades are dirty jobs. So while trades often involve hands-on work, now technology has transformed many aspects of the industry, making it cleaner and safer. So you need to show students how modern trades integrate cutting-edge technology, such as digital tools for precision, sustainable construction methods, and advanced machinery, just to name a few. But we need to help students realize that there are so many trades out there other than the ones that they might already know of. And also a thing that I think is very important is to encourage women to also go into trades, because there's still this idea that it's a men's world or it's a men's job to work in the trades. But we see it, and again, maybe having a girl or a woman talk about her experience in the trades would inspire other girls to go into that sector. So these are all misconceptions that I hear. So hopefully some of the tips that I mentioned can help you talk with students, but also with parents if they do have these misconceptions. Now I will talk about Chatter High. So I will show you what the platform actually looks like, so you can learn more and see one way to engage students to learn more about skilled trades. So obviously, like I said, it's important to give students real experiences, go into the classrooms, talk to them. And often teachers are looking for people who represent different skilled trades to talk about those professions, okay? So go into the classroom. But another thing is Chatter High can also bring that information directly to the students. So I will now share another tab. So this is what Chatter High looks like. So when students create their Chatter High accounts, this is what they will see. And on Chatter High, there are two big activities. So we have the daily quiz, which is all about career explorations, career exploration, programs of study, colleges, universities, etc. And we also have different modules. The difference between these two is that the daily quiz is only 10 questions every day. And the quiz is smart, meaning that as time goes on, the quiz is going to become more and more tailored to students' interests and skills. So if a student, let's say, I'll just show you quickly what it looks like. So the quiz is based on my interests, depending on what I said I was interested in. So my first question is from Redeemer University. And also for your information, students can also choose to opt out of faith-based questions. So just a fun fact. But my first question says, a degree in politics and international science studies at Redeemer University can lead to careers in relief and development, banking, law, government, and advocacy. What is the name of the course that introduces students to the issue of human rights and the role of public justice? So obviously, students might not know what the answer is. And the cool thing about Chatter High is that the goal is not to just randomly select an answer and submit. Students have to click on research, and by doing that, they'll be brought directly to the website where they can find the answer. So in this case, I'm on the website of Redeemer University, so I can look through and use Chatter High's hint to find my answer. When I'm ready, I come back to Chatter High, select my answer, and click on submit. So we bring students directly to your website or directly to the reputable source where they can find the information. And here is the part where I tell you that it becomes more and more tailored towards students' interests, is that they will receive a small interest survey after answering questions. So have you heard of this university or college or career? Yes or no? I'm going to say yes. How interesting is this university, college, or career to you? I'm going to say somewhat interesting. Did you know you could study political science and government general or do this as a job? I'm going to say yes. And how interesting is political science to me? I'm going to say somewhat, because maybe it's not the thing I want to do, but I'd still like to learn more. So again, as students go on, they're going to get questions more and more tailored towards their interests. But we still think it's very important to show them things outside of their interests for many reasons. One, because their interests can always develop and change with time. And also because, again, they can't know they're interested in something if they don't even know that thing exists. So it's really important that we bring them directly to that information. And when I do class presentations, I tell students, this is time for you to explore. So take the time to look through the website if it seems interesting to you and learn more about those careers. So that is kind of the quick overview of how Chatter High works. So that's the daily quiz, which is 10 questions every day. And the questions are going to be different for all the students in the classroom. But we also offer modules, which are also very interesting because here it's a course. So it's a set number of questions. Everyone in the class is going to have the same questions. And it's also great because this way the teacher can assign a course or a module and keep tab or look and see what their students have done. So we have different topics. That's another cool thing, is that we not only have career and pathways or colleges and universities, but we also have subjects such as financial literacy, health, wellness, and safety, which has mental health, and science and environment. So let me show you, for example, in the career and pathways, we do have the automotive and RV industry pathways course, which is made of 3 different modules, and students can learn about discover your inner recreative vehicle tech, exploring career opportunities in the RV industry, and getting down to automotive business. So these are 3 modules that are part of the course, but as you can see, others can have more or less, depending on what the information we want to bring to the students. So it's a really great way for students to go in depth, because in the daily quiz, they might only have 1 question from the RV industry that week or that day. As here, we can really go in depth. So again, same idea. Students are going to read the question, click on research, and they're brought directly to the website where they can find the answer. So think about it. Do you really think that students would find those pages on their own, that they would take the time to research a specific career or college or university? Some might do it, but I'd say it might be a minority. So that's the cool thing about Chatter High, is we bring them to you directly. So again, same idea. Not only is Chatter High gamified, so students learn about different things and they're brought directly to the website, but we also try to make it as engaging and motivating as possible. The way we do that is, as you may have noticed, students earn points while answering the answers. So while answering questions. So by clicking on research, they earn 50 points. And if they get the question correct, they earn an additional 50 points. And here is what they can do with those points. So here, by clicking on the number next to their name, so I have 42,000 points, students can enter a draw. So usually it costs 1,000 points to enter. So as you can see, we have different draws. So students have the chance to enter draws. And it's fairly easy. Like I said, I have 42,000 points just by doing demos and answering one question here and there. And I have 42,000 points, meaning that I could enter one draw 40 times, or I can divide my entries through multiple draws. So students can do the same thing. So that's a cool way. It's very encouraging. Or students can also support a charity. So they can donate their points, which will go to Food Banks Canada. So that is also very motivating for students. So I can see that so far I have donated 47 cents. And if I were to donate all of my points, that would be equal to $3.46. So that might not sound like a lot of money, but I always tell students that every dollar or every cent count. And I also tell them, if you think about if everyone in your school were to donate $1, that could make a very big difference for Food Banks Canada. Also, by scrolling down, they're able to see the people who have donated the most on Chatter High, and the person who's in first place donated $1,310. So that is a lot of money that went to Food Banks Canada just by answering questions on Chatter High. So that is very motivating for students. They feel like they're making a difference while they're learning. So that is one other thing that we do to make things as interesting as possible. And finally, we also have different competitions. So right now, actually, we have our biggest competition happening, which is Let's Talk Careers. So right now, I'm in a school. My student account is in a school that is in the A division. But let me actually, I think it'd be better if I show you here. So when you go to Chatter High, before you even log in or create your account, you're able to see all the information on our competitions. So as I was saying, Let's Talk Careers is our biggest competition because we have $10,000 in school cash prizes to be won. So when students explore questions in the daily quiz and they can explore different skill traits, oh, my webcam was off. Sorry. They can explore different skill traits. They have the chance, if they climb the leaderboard, to win a piece of the $10,000 cash prize. And it's 100% free for students to participate in this competition, and to use anything on Chatter High, it's always free. So it really is just free money almost. So students who are the most informed, who will answer the most questions, will have a chance to win money. So there's a school prize, but there's also some student cash bursaries. So even if a student is in a school that didn't quite participate, they can still win money for themselves. So just to show you quickly, all the students in Canada, until the prize pot is depleted, who answered 300 questions correctly will win $100. That is a lot of money. So all the students who will answer 300 questions correct in the daily quiz during the time of the competition, so it started end of October and it's going on until December, all those students will win $100. Then all the students who will keep going and go to 350 will be entered in 4 draws for $500. Plus, the top 4 students in Canada will earn $500 automatically, meaning that students have the opportunity to win up to $600 in total. So that is a lot of money. And again, it's free to participate. So students are learning about career, colleges, universities, and they also can win money, which is pretty motivating for them. So these are our competitions. And we do offer other competitions. So these are the career ones, but for your information, we can have a competition on a module too. So we have, for example, the Learn About Your Taxes competition, money management, etc. One last thing I kind of went, I kind of skipped, I just realized is, so I told you about the daily quiz, the modules, competition, earning points. So you have all the important information. But another thing I do want to mention quickly is I was saying that the daily quiz is smart, that it's tailored to students' interests. Students also have access to their interest profile. So they can go here and they're able to see all the major programs that they showed interest in, all the colleges and universities, and also job and careers. So students can see, okay, so my biggest piece of the pie, the jobs that seem to be most interesting to me, is professional occupations in law, education, social, community, and government services. But there are a lot of different things. These are mine. So students could have something engineering or, anything really. So this is my preferred sector. But then I can go in even more specific and see, drill down all the way to a specific career. And here, as you can see, we have the NOC code. So I can see the code is 4140 for policy and program researchers, consultants, and officers. So I can scroll down and I have access right here to my provincial resource. So by clicking here, I'm brought directly. In my case, I'm in New Brunswick right now. So I'm seeing New Brunswick occupational profiles, but I can use the NOC code directly. So I had 4140, I believe. Click on research. And here I have different careers. So it's a one-stop shop. Students can see what they're interested in, then on the same page, go directly and see the provincial resource. So I'm in New Brunswick, so mine is for New Brunswick, but it will be depending if a student is from Ontario, it's going to be Ontario, etc. So it's all in one place. I think that concludes my presenting Chatter High section of this presentation. So this is what it looks like. Again, everything is 100% free for students and teachers. So they don't have to pay anything to use Chatter High. So it's very easy for them to access all the content that is on Chatter High. And we also offer demos and class presentations. And same for you if you think you would be interested in a more tailored demo because you have questions or you would like to know how to use Chatter High or anything like that, we can also help with that. And it's free also. So now that I showed what Chatter High looks like, I want to explain why it works. And to do that, I want to share our Chatter High impact study that we had in the government of New Brunswick. So this study was with 279 students and 91 teachers. And the highlights of the report showed that 76% of students recommended Chatter High to others or said they would recommend to others. 87% of teachers said they would recommend Chatter High to others. 75% of students said that Chatter High made them feel more hopeful, motivated, and engaged in regards to their future. And 90% of teachers said that Chatter High helped their students to see the linkage between what they're learning in high school and how that will prepare them for their career. And we have more information here. So Chatter High users had a clearer idea of what the pathway they had to follow after high school would look like. They knew how to choose a program that was right for them. They knew how to choose the kind of work they wanted to do after graduation and felt that they would succeed in the work they chose. So the numbers speak for themselves. So we can see that our formula works. So we're able to bring students to websites to learn about different careers and have it be impactful. Why does that work? It's because Chatter High is action oriented, it's gamified and incentive based, and we meet them where they are. So we meet the students where they are and we try to bring them further. I also have some testimonials from teachers here, so I won't read through all of them, but basically teachers are saying that it's a fun way for students to learn more about variety of career options and their prizes, competitions, donations, and help incentive for student participation. But a lot of teachers have told us that they felt like it's a great tool to help students research what they want to do in the future and have it be an engaging exploration. All right, so I think this is all I have for the presentation section, but I do have some call to actions. But I would like to know, do you guys have any questions? And I do believe there's something in the chat. Could we get a link to send to the students? Absolutely. So we could, so we have, okay, let me show you, maybe it will be easier. Share this. So obviously you can always bring students directly to the Chatter High website, but also if you go to resources and go to Canada, you're able to see all the resources that we offer. So if you wanted to find the, let me see, and I'll go to topics, in this case, career and pathways. So we have our different careers and pathways. Let me find. Oh, here we go. We have the RVDA course here. So you can click read more and you can share this link with students or teachers, and they can have the info pack. They can learn all about this course. So this is a link that I would suggest you can share. We also have question booklets. So if the teachers or the students want to know what they're going to learn in the course, that's also here. So that is one thing that you can for sure share. If you want more specific things, sometimes we can create something with our marketing team, or we have a lot of resources. You can always contact us if you're thinking of something more specific you'd like to share. So you can get in touch by using the form here, or you can always email us. So there's this email here, or I can also share my email. So my email is right here. So if you have any questions, that's my role. I'm here to help you. So my email address is zoe@chatterhigh.com. And I'll go back to see if there's any more questions. But what can you do now? You can promote exploration of the RV careers module. That's one thing. Or you can learn more about how to engage students and teachers. So again, you can send me an email, we can book a call, and you can tell me what you're looking for, what your needs are, and I can help you, create things, or I can suggest things you can do to engage students further, depending on your needs. So this call can be tailored to what you need. Do you guys have any questions? Or up here, RVD of Canada asked, are there opportunities for our members to partner with Chatter High for in-school or virtual presentations? Yes, absolutely. So if you want to do that, we offer a lot of class presentations across Canada, and we always love when we can have something to promote, to tell students, did you know that we have this course? So I often do it when I'm going in a classroom. I do it no matter what. So I tell them, did you know about this course? Depending on what the students said at the start that they wanted to do. You remember my little activity with the piece of paper? I can then share some resources that we offer on Chatter High. So you can for sure partner with us. If that's something you'd be interested in. Again, you can send me an email. The sky is the limit. We're very flexible. There's a lot we can do. And actually, if you guys have any more questions, write them in the chat. But I'd like to pass it over to my colleague, Mary, if you're still there, Mary. Do you have anything else you can think of that I either didn't mention or that can be helpful for the people attending today?
Yeah, 100%. I think you did a great job and covered everything. I learned a bit too about your career path, so that was great. No, the only thing I would say is where content specifically is concerned, that the course is actually a collaborative course. So one of them is from RVDA, but it kind of speaks to what Zoe was saying about the skilled trades and how like there's no room for growth. The whole kind of collaborative module shows you there's CRVA, the new Car Dealers of BC, RVDA, automotive recyclers, anything within that automotive industry. So even just the way the course is set up kind of shows students there's growth, there's opportunity to change, you know, like Zoe, maybe it's a little bit like a teacher, but something different. So maybe it's all within the automotive field. Maybe you thought you were going to be a truck driver or work in the RV, but you actually go to automotive recycling. We're kind of setting it up that way so they know that from the start. And then it also goes into both careers and the industry. So they see how that industry is growing, how much it contributes to the Canadian economy. There's always going to be room for it. We talk about the role in, you know, trade in general and how we need all those workers. I, as a writer, I specifically, Anita and I positioned it so that this is not, you know, for dumb kids or second choice. There's a lot of money here. There's great fun opportunities for you. So yeah, just for the content specifically, what students would be exploring. It kind of covers everything that you might want to cover. There's industry, there's careers, there's how it all connects to each other, you know, the domino effect of roles, all of that. So yeah, it just goes back to what Zoe was saying about kind of eliminating that stigma and just showing students as much different careers and information as we can. And good, yeah, otherwise, I think really great job, Zoe. Just a little content note there.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary. And I'm glad you're here because Mary is the expert, so she knows all about content. If you have any content specific ideas, what can be done, what can't be done, Mary would be the expert here. So
Definitely.
Are there any other questions? Yes, thank you, Mary.
I don't have a question. I'm more of comment and also to let the participants understand why we have engaged Cheddar High and our partnership thus far. So Cheddar High is platform is very unique, and they are working with school districts and schools directly, especially teachers, and those audiences are very difficult for us to access. And even when we have reached out to school districts, and they're very protective for, understandably, of their teacher contacts and other resources within the school system. So have been able to work with Chatter High, they're right in the trenches per se, and of course engaging with students directly. So that is one big benefit. And through daily quizzes, we're able to reach students that perhaps have never thought of skilled trades as a career path. That also, as a follow-up, that's why we decided to collaborate on the module course to help them understand more about the sector. However, that is only if they know about the course, and also if the teacher chooses to engage students with that course. So I hope that with your help, to help us spread the word, and also if you know of any partners in the industry that may also benefit from creating a module, or you know, have a contest across Canada or within your province, like they said, there are many different possibilities, but we've, you know, also helped to create more awareness through not just our involvement, but also perhaps, you know, you can see ways that you would like to engage your audience. So if you have any further thoughts, ideas that we should explore, either on the retail side, or as mentioned, there is a CRBA course that's strictly focusing on the manufacturing jobs, but because we work very closely together, but those jobs are completely different, and there may be others that I have overlooked, that I may not even be aware of. So please don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yes, we're very happy to work with RVDA. It's a great partner of ours, and we survive because of our partners, you know, so they're very important to us. And we're very, like I said, I think we're very, very flexible. So even if you have an idea of something that I didn't even mention today, we'd love to hear it. So we're very open. We're a very small team, so it's very easy to reach us for sure. Yeah. So if there aren't any more questions, I think this is all I had for you today. Again, if you have any questions, I don't know, Mary, if you want to share your email too, but my email is simply zoe@chatterhigh.com. Or if you have content related questions, you can also email my colleague Mary. So simply mary@chatterhigh.com.
Yep. And reach out regarding anything, like we were saying, if there's another partner you think might benefit. And I see the state dual credit courses. I've written entire courses on just dual credit specific to school districts or institutions. So really, like Zoe was saying, the sky's the limit. So, and yeah, any ideas, definitely throw it our way if you have them.
Wonderful. Well, thank